Folks really liked my video yesterday where I explained what it is that I say to my senators and my rep when I call them. I call almost every day about at least one issue. Keep in mind, Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley and Maxine Dexter are all Democrats, and I think they are all vigorously advocating for not only their constituents, but for democracy. I have covered in the past how I think we should be addressing our reps if they are Republicans, and I'm happy to keep talking about that more in the future because folks keep asking me, especially on YouTube. Folks are like, how do I talk to my red senators, right? But for the sake of this video, this is what I called about today. I called about a few things, but here's one example. One phone call, one issue. If I have multiple issues that I need to talk to my electeds about, I call back multiple times. That way they can mark each one on their tally of feedback from their constituents. So here's my reenactment of my call to Senator Jeff Merkley. Hello, Senator Merkley. Thank you so much for your continued advocacy on behalf of the American people. I know that you and I are very much aligned when it comes to our desire to protect the environment. I am deeply concerned about the news that the Trump regime plans to log our national forests and our national parks. I understand Trump is like, we don't need imported lumber from Canada. We will just rape our forests. And I know you and I both understand that our forests are our heritage. They are where the wealth of America actually is. They are something that must be protected and passed down to future generations. The commons is for the good and the enjoyment of all Americans, not for the profit of lumber companies. I know that you understand this, and I know there are so many humanitarian issues on the table right now, but it's so important to remember the environmental ones as well, because what we do to the planet, we are doing to our children and our children's children. We are robbing from them. And in keeping with this vein, I want to bring up the news that a court has ruled that Portland General Electric can cut down at least 400 trees from Forest Park in Portland. It ceases to be Forest Park if you remove the forest. I live in a heat island in one of the hottest places in Portland. Shade equity is a crucial issue here. The more we cut down our trees, the more we heat up our city. The more carbon we release into the atmosphere, the less carbon we are sequestering. The more we are contributing to climate change, the more we are contributing to heating up this city and harming the people who live here. And what the court has deemed that PGE can do here in Portland, Trump wants to do on a massive scale around the country. And I'm begging you to use your influence to continue to advocate for our forests. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the work you're doing, and I will call you back tomorrow. So I hope that was helpful. Please be sure to always thank your electeds if they do something well. Don't just call them with the negatives. Call them to thank them for doing their job well. And also, you can call them to encourage them, to nudge them, to say, hey, do this thing. Pay attention to this thing. Advocate for this thing, right? You don't have to always call just to criticize. You don't have to call to always give them an earful. Call Hakeem Jeffries every day and give him an earful. But you're elected. You can call and say, thank you for the good work you're doing. Take it a step further. I want to register this issue as being important, and I want you to look into it. That way it gets on the record. Maybe your elected is already handling that issue. Maybe they're already looking into it. Maybe you know that the two of you are already aligned on that issue. Still call, still get it in the record, because they use those data points when they go to their colleagues, when they go to the committees that they sit on, when they go to persuade other folks how to vote on bills. They say, look at these numbers. I got 3,000 calls on this issue. How many did you get from your district? I'm hearing this from hundreds and hundreds of my constituents, that this is a concerning issue for folks, in our part of the country, or, folks everywhere, that this is an issue that we have got to pay attention to. I have the numbers to back that up. So that's why it's so important to call. Keep it up. Takes 5 minutes every day. Call them while you're having your coffee. I usually do it while I'm on my walk. If you're, waiting in line to pick your kid up from school, call your congressman, call your senators.